Well, well, well. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back. Hello, hello. Hello, hi. How are you doing? Hi. How's everyone doing? Hello, Coral. Hello, Blazako. JP, glad to have you here. While we have you here. Danish pastry. Pleasure as always. Pleasure as always. Millennium Storyteller, you were here last night. Welcome back. Welcome back. EU friendly. That's my motto. That's my title. EU friendly streamer. Coffee and Scrivener. All right. Sounds like you're ready to do some planning. Miguel says, I'm not sure what this is all about. Nah, Remo. I'm always bad at saying that. Alternative. This is, here's the thing. Writing sprints, whether they last a day or a month, get you writing. Novella November is about getting you writing, right? It's a unaffiliated, similar vibe. I want to help you write your story, and I'm gonna do all of my writing here on stream for my very own novella. And so, yeah, that's the plan, Stan, or Miguel. That's the plan, Miguel. You can see more information on the Discord, link below if you're not already part of the Discord. This week is all about planning our story, so when November 1st hits, you are ready to write, ready to just get some words down. Coral's got coffee, notebooks, pens, index cards, and a touch of madness. Sounds like you're ready to go. Longer names just... Oh, whoops. You're right. It's just kind of hard to size all this stuff. I also never know when I'm making things too small to read. You know what I'm saying? Writing a game book rat? Am I reading that right? A game book rat. There's lots of rats in the chat. Rats in the chat if you're also a rat. Danish pastry, I'm looking at you. Can't sneak one by me. At the moment, okay. At the moment, that makes more sense. Well, hello everyone. If you were not able to make it to last night's stream, last night for me, maybe like 2 a.m. for you, in our EU-friendly stream, we had a great time. A lot of it was hanging out, talking, but we also started doing some planning sprints. We talked about how to go about planning your novella. We talked about what tools I'm using and other tools that other people are using. We just had a good time, and we also did some 15-minute sprints where it's like, okay, like we're chatting, we're having a good time, we're kind of figuring out the ideas for what we want to have for our stories, and then 15 minutes of dedicated time to just put some information down. That may be you jotting some character ideas down, some character names, some plot ideas. Maybe you're already past that planning stage, and that 15-minute planning sprint that we're doing is actually you writing your story. We had some people putting down 400, 500, 600, 700 words in our little 15-minute sprints. We talked about apples. I've said all I need to say about my thoughts on apples, so I will not rant. I do love a good rant. I think rants are hilarious. When I'm really close to my cousins, and back in the day, we used to play this game called Don't Get Me Started. Don't Get Me Started. And you would give someone else a topic, and they'd have to say, oh my gosh, apples? Don't get me started on apples. And then you would go in just a spontaneous rant. So, I love a good rant. I think they're hilarious. You can find I did not put the playlist yet for past Novella November streams in the description. I will do that in the next one. But all of these live streams are recorded. They are available on YouTube. You can go to my channel and look at, I think it's under the live category maybe. And you can watch what we talked about. And here's the deal. I need your help. I need your help. My dream is that by the end of Novella November, I can go back through all of our VODs, all of our recordings, and chop up like the highlights, the moments that we were just having a blast, like the Apple rants, last stream and have sort of a best of Novella November sort of video to put out at the end of the month. The hard thing about it is finding those moments. If you really enjoyed a moment on the live stream, it would help me out if you were to clip it. I don't know how to do clipping, but I believe in you guys. And then that way I can easily find all the moments and, put together a little best of. Stray Bubble, welcome to the party. Zaku, Granny Smith apples were demolished, justified. Yes. What is a Granny Smith apple? You don't even need to bother. Your life would be better if you didn't go down the rabbit hole of a Granny Smith apple. Think of like a good apple, then take away all the qualities that make that apple a good one, and then you're left with a Granny Smith. There you go. Get me out of the apple. I'm stuck in the apple vortex. I gotta pull away. Pull away. This is your fault, Danish pastry. Millennium Storysellers, I'm still standing by Macintosh. Is that the one that we looked up with and it was rated as horse food? That's the kind of apple it is? Horse food? All right. So let's talk about planning. We are going to have a good time today. I am feeling it. I've got coffee in my system. I got some lemon water off on the side. Keep me hydrated. And we have a great cast of characters in our chat today. I'm so happy you can join us. I am still figuring out all the live stream stuff. So let me know if my mic is too quiet, too loud. Let me know if the background music too quiet, too loud. And I can make all those changes, and that will help us in future streams. Okay, yeah, Danish Pastry says the talk about passive versus active planning was interesting. For those who weren't there, this is actually a good thing to revisit as we have this new group ready to start planning their stories. First, you know what? Let me share my screen over here. Share my screen. I don't know if I'm in love with that transition, but we'll see. Over here, I am using a writing software. My software of choice is called Scrivener. I should have put affiliate links in the thing below, but I did not. You can find them on the Discord. I am using Scrivener to plan and write my my story. You do not have to do that. Nothing in the rulebook says you got to use the same software as me. Use whatever you like to use to write. Some people love Google Docs. Some people love Microsoft Word. Scrivener is just a glorified folder system that makes it really easy to put every character in their own little file and organize them and have little notes, right? Samsung Notes, Notepad, Notepad++. If you're an insane person, VS Studio. The VS is VC Studio, Visual Code, whatever it is. We got a word girly in chat. That's okay. You know, there's all kinds of things. Babisco is like a free open source alternative to Scrivener, especially good if you run on Linux. Novelpad, we partnered with Novelpad for the last writing challenge. Kind of has a lot of those similar features. Google Docs, doesn't matter. The only thing that I really like Scrivener for, that is worth investing in Scrivener for, is whenever you are done with your story and you are ready to output it somewhere in the world. Of course, you can do all the typical things like, I'm going to export this as a PDF or as a docx. But it has an absurd amount of tools for exporting everything out into the right size and font and margins for your paperback book. For all the different trim sizes. It has features for putting things out in like an e-reader format, like EPUB. And you can take that file that comes out of Scrivener after it's compiled everything together, slap it on your Kindle, open up that bad boy and read your story just like that. So that's what Scrivener is really good for. Everything else, you can use whatever tool you want. Let's talk about some story stuff. I started the last stream asking the chat, and I'm going to do it again. If you have a title, a working title, all ready for your story that you want to write in Novella November, toss it in chat. I want to see it, and I'm going to share mine with you. Kind of talk about the inspiration behind my story, and then my approach to how I'm going to write it. And then hopefully that'll be our jumping off point to talk about even more things. So send me your titles in chat. I want to see them. And I'm going to share with you. Not this one. Not this one. Where is it? Where is it? You know what? Let's do it here. Let's do it here. I'm going to share with you Upon Careless. Hold on. Gray Hills. Gray spelled with an A because we're from America. A's in chat. Cora says my title is Lana. Or Lana, if you're in Wisconsin. That's how they would say it. Lana, probably change it. Working title, good to have, just to have something to reference your story. I'll be using typewriter. Got to go paddling. Miguel, you got a lot going on. But do some passive planning. We're about to talk about that. Do some planning. Think about your story, how you feel about it, what kind of characters you need to have, and then go enjoy your paddling. Oh, strong at the breaking from a Hemingway quote. Ties the book together. I love that, JP. Love that. A revenge story. Let's go. That'll be awesome. That'll be a lot of fun to write. The Engineered Man hasn't changed. Only temporary title. It happens. It's good. It's a good. You need to be able to reference your story somehow. Engineered Man is still a pretty good temporary title. Passive planning. When I work, it's a great place to do it. Danish pastry. That's my favorite mod. Let's go. Agreed. Agreed. All right, let me tell you about Upon Careless Gray Hills. So, a couple years ago, me and my now wife took a vacation to Alaska. Let me pull this up while I do this. Took a vacation to Alaska, and what we found in doing our little vacations, we flew into Anchorage. We'd been up to Talkeetna, which is over there by whatever the big mountain in Alaska is. We've been down to different parts of Alaska, never all the way up to Fairbanks, but we took a train ride to a little place called Whittier, Alaska. Whittier, Alaska. Let me pull you up some images of Whittier, Alaska. Because as soon as I arrived in this little town, I was like, oh, this is a story. And I know that some people in the chat have already heard this. I'll keep it shorter than I did last time. If you want to see the full rundown, you can see the last stream. Also, when you look up Whittier, Alaska, or Whittier just by itself, first thing that comes up is Whittier, California. Who was searching for Whittier, California when Whittier, Alaska is right up the coast? My God. My God. Don't get me started. Don't get me started on Whittier, California. All right. Whittier, Alaska has some very interesting things here. So it's just like regular Alaska, but smarter. It's not smarter or cleverer, but it is more unique. It is more unique. Whittier, Alaska has two very important aspects about it. And when we got here, my brain was churning immediately saying, oh my God, this is a freaking story to be told. So first things first. Whittier, Alaska was established as a military base post-World War II. And they had like 1,000 soldiers they were bringing over here into this little area in Whittier, Alaska, only accessible by boat or plane. Or, I guess, walking, if you're crazy. And so they very quickly built an apartment complex for all the people staying there. And to this day, every single permanent resident of Whittier, Alaska lives in one building called the Baggage Towers. One building. Every permanent resident. So already in my head, I'm like, oh, sheesh. There's some drama that can happen here. Like, oh man. Now, Whittier, Alaska is a beautiful place. Whether you go in the summer, whether you go in the winter, it's surrounded by mountains and glaciers. It's right on the water, and this takes you all the way out into the ocean. Every now and then some cruises come here. It's got this inn at Whittier, Alaska, which when we first saw it, which is right on the ocean water, when we first saw it, looked like a very almost like dilapidated style building. But inside, quite nice, quite nice. Here's the thing though. In order to get to Whittier, Alaska, and let me do this off camera here because something tells me it's a bad idea to open up Google Maps on live stream and just dox yourself in your like third ever live stream. You know what I'm saying? Cracks me up. Here's the very interesting thing about Whittier, Alaska. In order to get there, there is one tunnel. Portage Glacier Road. Portage Glacier Road. This is like a long, maybe like almost like a mile long tunnel through the core of a mountain. You can see the entrance here. It's shared by cars and train. Both the cars and the train go through this tunnel to access Whittier, Alaska. They'll shut down car access for like 30 minutes to let the train go through the tunnel, drop people off, come back through the tunnel. Then they'll open it up for another X amount of time while the cars drive through on the railroad tracks to get to Whittier. And then at a later point, they'll cut off access for the cars and the train will come back through. Right? So we were on the train when we went through this. And going through here, knowing, like, seeing this like mile long tunnel through this mountain, another thing started churning in my head. That thing was like, oh my God, if this tunnel closes, everyone is stuck in Whittier, Alaska. And now my brain's like, oh, there has to be like a thriller story here, a murder mystery, a killer on the loose. And so I started, this was like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, if I had to guess. And I was like, oh my God, there is a story here. We went hiking out on glaciers. We went on a little wildlife cruise. And every single thing I saw while I was in Whittier, Alaska, I was saying, this is going to make a great story. And so this has been in the back of my brain for a long time. Never written anything down, but I've done tons of passive planning. That's how I do most of my story planning, passive planning. And I'll talk a little bit more about that. See if we can get back over here to see Whittier, Alaska. Whittier, Alaska is seasonally busy, right? Tourists come through and do the cruises, maybe hike in some places, but all of Whittier, Alaska is just really this. See if I can find a picture of the baggage towers. Where are you guys at? There's this old Buckner building, which is completely dilapidated now. You know that's gotta be in the story. You know that's gotta be in the story. We walked all around here and checked all this stuff out while we did our trip. So all the wheels were turning. Where's the baggage tag? Aha. Oh, also, recently found out by looking on the Wikipedia, when the weather is really bad and the kids who live in the Baggage Towers condominium have to get to school, which is right over here, there's an underground tunnel connecting the two. Guys. Underground tunnels, secluded small town, Alaska nature, a murder mystery, and every resident living in the same place. It writes itself. So that was all the inspiration that kind of happened with how my story kind of came together. Here's the Baggage Towers, named after a Alaska congressman who went missing on a flight between Anchorage and Juneau. I don't know. I love this imagery. I'll be putting together a mood board at some point and sharing it with you guys. I'll post it in the Discord if you want to see how someone goes about doing that sort of mood board thing. If you've never done one before, pretty cool. James Pastry says, bro, the amount of times I wished for an underground tunnel to my school when the weather was bad. Not an option in America. Everyone lives so far away from everything. You have to drive. But also I lived in Georgia, and so like inclement weather was like, it's a little chilly that day, and that was kind of it. All right, so that's some good stuff that's me setting the groundwork. Whittier, Alaska is named after this poet. I think his name was John Whittier, and he had a poem. I did some research, and then he had this line that says like, upon gray hills, and I was like, that's not foreboding enough. So I added careless, upon careless gray hills, and that is my working title right now. So my story is going to be a crime thriller, murder mystery, everyone's sort of secluded in this tight-knit space, a couple small town politics, small town drama, as we try to solve the mystery. That's what's happening. That's what's going on. Lozaka says, I like Upon Gray Hills more. I just feel like there needs to be a little bit something more in there. And it's the working title, so something may change. But right now, Upon Careless Gray Hills. I guess maybe I'm just someone who likes longer titles. All right. So, before we get too deep into planning, I'm going to do one last thing before we run our timer, do some stuff, do some planning. I want to let you know about the video coming out on Friday. We got a juicy one. The video is called The Amazon Ad Scam. And it's all about new authors trying to do research on how to market their very first book and the Scamazon Prime and the almost dangerous misinformation you're going to find in doing your research as a new author. I even share some of my own Amazon ad stats for Starlight Farms Kennel for Talking Dogs. So that'll be pretty interesting. I hope you guys like it. I don't call out any specific people, but I do talk about the Amazon ad content that exists on YouTube. So remember all the things that I do, and I hope you guys get this, because this is like kind of one of my big things I feel like I can provide that maybe other channels can't, is I try to be completely transparent about the experience of writing. And like right now, I'm trying to do content creation, the writing, book coaching, and developmental editing as like my full-time thing. It's been really exciting. It's been really fun. I've been really lucky with the community that we've kind of put together. But I think it's almost like my responsibility to tell you that, like, hey, sometimes, like, when you're trying to pursue this writing thing, you're putting a lot of your heart and soul into your writing. Sometimes you get demoralized and you don't want to write, and that's okay. And here is what you need to keep in mind. It's not the end of the world. Like, allow yourself to have these ups and downs. It doesn't mean you're a good or bad writer. It doesn't mean you're a good or bad creative. And I also try to be transparent about this new part of writing I'm discovering, which is like the business side of writing. So I'm bringing you guys along on my journey for those wins, those successes, and those failures, and all the mistakes I made along the way, so that maybe you don't make those mistakes. That's what I go for. Right, Blazaka says, you have Starlight's Kennel twice on Goodreads. Man, I can make a whole video about trying to claim this book on Goodreads. Honestly, what I need to do is, if you have a personal account on Goodreads, and then you release a book under your business author name, people have to read it twice. Yes, it's all, I've got them. I've trapped them. You need to, like, as an author, to claim a book, you need to say, this book was published under this Amazon account with this email address, and I am claiming it under a Goodreads account with the same email address. And you cannot do it if you have a personal account with a different email address, so you can't combine those two things. And then oh my God, this is a whole thing. Yeah, hundreds in chat. You need a spray bottle on so you can knock the coffee mug off it, and yet they do it. Look, Amazon, I'll say everything I need to say in my video on Friday. I hope you guys like it. I've got some juicy videos cooking up. I'm really excited to share them with you guys. Also, we got some really cool things coming up. We got another writing book video coming up in the next month. I read a book about someone being able to dictate a novel, right? Being able to, here's my recorder. I'm going to speak. I'm going to tell my story. Not at my computer desk, not sitting at my laptop. And this was a writing book from an author that's like sold like 15 million copies of books. He's written in the Star Wars universe. He writes the Dune books with the son of Frank Herbert now. All these things, and he dictates them all. He dictates them all while he's walking through the mountains hiking. And I was like, oh man, that would be kind of nice. So I got some stuff coming up on dictation, which could be kind of cool. I found a company to partner with that offers some tools to help you creatively dictate in a really easy way. I think it could be kind of fun. So I've found some ways to try to get you guys more value. That's what I'm going for. All right. All that being said, Lazaka says, I've heard of personal AI that punctuates and fixes character names and dictation. Honestly, that's all we need, right? That's all we need. We just need something to format it and get the words right. If you've ever used the old transcription stuff, like Dragon, I think was what its name was. Dragon was like, you had to say open quote, you had to say close quote, comma, period, line break as you did it. That's not very great. All right, hey, let's do some planning. Unless those mountains be in Murder Mystery Alaska. Good one, Johnny. I like that. Yeah, don't go hiking in Murder Mystery Mountains. First off, thank God they named Murder Mystery Mountains like that. Now I know which ones not to go to. That's the big brain move. All right, here we go. So here's the plan. What I'm about to do in planning my novel is we're going to take 15 minutes, do some planning. I'm going to turn up our background music just a bit. This is different music than we had in the last stream. It turns out when you download copyright-free lo-fi music, sometimes it turns out not to be copyright-free. So we got some new music that should be copyright-free. I don't know why you would care, but hey, we got some good lo-fi music playing in the background. I'm going to turn that up a bit. We're going to take 15 minutes. I'll have a timer on screen. I'll bring us back once we get past those 15 minutes. And then I would love to hear your progress, your updates. If you're writing your story, let me know how many words you wrote. If you're planning your story, let me know what kind of progress you made. Did you nail down some character stuff, some plot stuff? Right now, I am going through the plot dump and the crime. For my story, the crime is kind of something that needs to be very solidified before I start writing all the plots, before I start laying all the clues and the red herrings and the suspects. So I've got a pretty good vision in my head for how I want that to go. My plot dump kind of hit a brick wall. As I was getting everything kind of down, I was like, okay, I know how I want everything to be introduced. So when we come back, hopefully have everything about the crime locked down, and I can go back to working on my plot dump, and then just adding a little bit more detail about my different main characters. I don't think I'll be able to do all of that in 15 minutes, but that's what I'm working on. Let's put a timer on screen. Let's go for it. All right, I think we got it. Let's go. All right, everyone, good luck. 15 minutes. I'll let you know when those 15 minutes are done. Best of luck. Good planning. If you don't love active planning, try some passive planning. Let your mind wander. Think about your story. Give yourself the chance to do something great with that. All right, shutting my mic off. I'll see you guys after. It is time. We made it. Oh, I didn't even realize I'd changed my screen. Oops. 300 words, Millennium Storyteller, telling stories. Love it. Hey, Gav said, how many characters have you added and removed since you started planning? The further I get into planning, the more that happens. I tend to be a Millennium Storyteller. Take care. I tend to not add too many characters. I tend to be pretty stringent on adding characters. So that it doesn't often happen where, like, all of a sudden I've realized that I need to cut characters. If I add a character, it's because they have a specific role in this. Coral, how'd you do? What'd you get down? You got any new characters, plot stuff, any new ideas? Danish Pastry, do you make any progress on Rats of War? How'd you guys do? Ratata. Ratata? Let me pull up something. Maybe you guys can help. Jotting ideas for your ending. Got some ideas. Need to figure out if they'll work out. Yeah, Coral, you're a lot further ahead in planning than some of us out here. Already planning down your ending. JP planned about 300 words worth of the ending revenge and how it unfolds so you can mirror it in the beginning. Great idea. Yeah, having a similar opening image and closing image. Beautiful. Beautiful. Love it. Love it. I got down the last detail for what's gonna be the core crime and the motivation behind the crime. I had to make a comment here. How do you purposefully sink a boat? So that's some research I'm gonna have to do in my story as a dude sinks a boat that isn't his. Current work in progress is just Destructo, grab a shotgun, shoot a hole in the hull. But I feel like there's probably another way to sink a boat that doesn't just require brute force. I'm not sure. So I have that as a note, a takeaway for me. How do you sink a boat? I also made a list of a couple different clues to say that, okay, whatever happened to this in this crime, like how can it lead us to figuring out that A, it wasn't an accident, and that B, there's a nefarious intent behind it. Hey, Jimmy, see that iceberg ahead? Straight ahead, sailor. Well, hey, look, if you know how to sink a boat, let me know in chat, because I'm about to do some Googling. I'm about to have to say, is there a way to sink a boat that someone who knows about boats would do, as opposed to someone just like blowing a hole in the side? Because that would be the sign of an amateur, which is why it came to my brain, versus someone who knows boats. Maybe there's just a little plug you can just yank it out of the bottom of the boat and all of a sudden it's sinking. I know they do that with some like canoes or like smaller boats. There's like, to make sure no one steals it, there's like a little, the sink button. You just hit the button, it sinks. Yeah, isn't that right next to the cockpit? The cockpit of the boat, you're steering the boat, and then it's like, oh, the radio, and then turn the radio on. Let me turn to AM. Oh shoot, I hit the sync button. Let me pull up. I'll pull up. I gotta pull up some stuff anyways here. I'll show you the kind of fishing boat size we talking about. Let's see. I need... Oh, here we go. This is the kind of boat I'm talking about. Image and new tab. Let's see this bad boy. Oh, it's beautiful. Are boats all women? Is that how it works? Are they all she? Is that what I've been told? Right, sinking a boat isn't as easy as you think. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking these things are pretty much designed to not do this one kind of thing. But in my story, I can't have this boat just floating out in there in the water. It needs to be hidden. Maybe it goes ground to shore somewhere, but it needs to be hidden away after a murder's been committed. So sinking naturally. First off, sinking a boat in your story naturally gives you an option to now explore that sunk boat underwater at a later point, and that's a cool scene. Some boats can be men. Wow. The more you know, man. The more you know. I'll tell you, I learn more every day. Learn more every day. This is the kind of fishing boat that we're talking about in our story. See, it seems pretty strong. Seems like a pretty strong kind of boat, you know what I'm saying? Which is why, like, it's got to be a destructive method. Here's a question. Is there a minimum hole size that you got to put in the hull of a boat to make sure it would sink versus just get a little wet, right? What's the minimum hole size for a boat to sink? We need some scientists on this. We need some scientists on this one. Hold on. Minimum hole size for boat to sink. Does anyone think this is gonna lead to an answer? Oh my god. Whatever hole you think, whatever size hole you think would sink a boat in a couple minutes, you're thinking too big. eoceanic.com has the intel we need. A 5-centimeter hole below the water will leak 300 liters per minute. A 10-centimeter hole at the same depth will leak 1,100 liters per minute, enough to sink a 30-foot yacht in 12 minutes. That's too small. That's a small hole. Where's it? I need a tape measure. Can someone convert centimeters to freedom units for me? All right. Well, either way, it looks like right now, putting the actual hole in the boat, I'll just make it a destructive shotgun kind of thing. Has to be below the water. Yes, yes. Boats that don't sit below the water that much, if I remember correctly. A hole saw drills a hole. I feel like it should be illegal to have a hole saw on a boat. Hot take. That seems too dangerous. Hot take. You can eat 3 Big Macs in that time. That's freedom units. That's how we measure time in America. Coral saying drive it onto land, damage the hole, back into water, sink it. Something there. Here's one thing I like about Scrivener. I can just kind of copy this image, hop back over into Scrivener, and go to my dude. Where is he? Benji Porter. There's your boat. Love it. I don't know much about boats, but I've always wanted to learn how to sail. Now that I'm in Wisconsin, there's like 10,000 lakes everywhere, every mile, every couple kilometers, 10,000 lakes. Now would be the chance to do it. That's some intel here. I'll keep thinking on it. I'll keep thinking on it. All right. So I did get some placeholder names for my story. Not set on any character names yet, but got placeholder stuff. Where is my other dude? I come up with most of my characters through the plot dump. Where's my dude? Jonah Martinez. I know you're gonna be a good character. Running aground is quite common. Yeah, if you stink at boats. Am I right? How big of a hole you need? Look at the most common ways boats sink. That's a good idea, Stray Bubble. Put the bilge pump in reverse, then put it back before. Okay. Have a first mate paint the deck and make tiny holes that make an impact later. You guys are nefarious. You're exposing yourself as criminal masterminds in the chat, which was the point of the whole live stream. We have police in every area that you guys are right now. We got them. Send them in. Send them in. Cinnamon. All right. Jonah Martinez. So here's a question. Coral Sands and the Coast Guard. Very cool. I didn't know that. Did not know that. Here's a question. Is the quality of the live stream clear enough that you can see like the text on my screen? I've always wondered this. I have like a teeny tiny little preview on my other monitor here, and so it looks pretty pixelated. Okay, cool. I tried to zoom in enough that you can see all that stuff, so good to know. Appreciate you. Appreciate ya. All right. I think the next thing we got to do here, get the creative juices flowing. Let me hop over here. One of the things I love to do, we're going to go over to our sweet Wordle verse. We're going to pull up a Wordle here. Oh, let's go. You guys remember Wordle? Is Wordle still cool? People still do Wordle? Wordle verse is all the games like Wordle, including the original. But let me show you. I wonder if we'll start with the normal guy, the normal one. See what the Wordle's going on today. There really is. Look, if you're not watching the variety streamers, you don't know about all the different Wordles. I'm about to take 10 minutes here and blow your mind. All right, what word do you start out with? About. Get all the vowels. Oh my God. He's cooking. He's cooking. About. We got turns. Oh, dude, I'm really bad at geography. But there are some good geography Wordles stuff. Turns. Okay. Okay, so we know it's not plural. It can't be tunnel. It can't be tunes. Could it be tuned? Oh, dang. I can't look at chat right now. Can't look at chat. We still haven't used an I, but that would be weird if there was an I here. No ED, no S's, no R's. What do we got here? TUN. That's such a strange way to start. Like, I feel like there's not that many things here. I can't look at chat. You guys are going to be too good. Too good. Can't be tunnel. Can't be like tulip. And there's no tunip. Is there? No. Tunic. Woo! Coral had it. Coral Sands had it. I see you. Tunic. Just Guy chiming in. Not bad. Not bad. Go over here to connections. Get that brain juice going. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I don't need an archive. I just want today's. All right. Times New Roman. That's a bait and switch right there. That's a bait and switch. Don't fall for that one. That's too easy. Resident, intern, attending. Okay. Attending and fellow. I feel like those are all doctor things. Medical roles. Easy. Pocket. Got mint. Thing. Countryman. Roman. What? Original. Unused. New. Mint. Let's go. Okay. What's going on with countrymen? Friend. Romans. Countrymen. Town. Oh, sorry. It's because I'm leaning. All right. We back. We focus. Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ear. Boom. Nailed it. Lend me your ear. No way. Johnny B says the boat that you have in your picture was sank by a shark named Bruce. Wait, was that from Jaws? How'd you find this? How do you know? Pocket perfect town times. What's the connection here? What's the connection? Town. Small town. Small times. I don't know. Perfect square, pocket square, Times Square. All right, last one, then we're going back to planning. Last one. You guys don't even know about Housel. You don't even know about Housel. Welcome to the Wordleverse. Here's the deal. With Housel, you get a little bit of information. So here we can see that this house is in Florida. We can see a picture of the house. And we have to guess. We got to guess the price. Big fan of Contexto. Got to guess the price. We don't know where in Florida. But I'm going to say, if you're looking to live in Florida, one floor, not very big, screened in porch, $200K. You know what? They got a little land though. They got a backyard. I think 600,000. But a lot of this, 200,000, 600,000 is going to change based on the location. We just know Florida. This could be on the coast in Destin, Florida, tourist capital of the world, or right next to Disneyland. We're too high. So now we get new information. 25 miles out of Miami. It's in Fort Lauderdale. Got a little tiki hut. 500K. How low do we go here? Fort Lauderdale. Said we were too high at 600,000. Fort Lauderdale, I feel like your real estate prices are not as high 450. The thing is, I don't want to, like, there's a little wiggle room when you make your guess. I want to be right on. I don't want to guess and it be like, oh, you put 450, but it was like 550, so we'll let you have it. I'm hoping we nail it. 450? Too low. What? 1,500 square feet? What's happening over here? Are we right on a highway? We right on a highway? We feel right. I feel if... Check it. 520. 525. I could do better. I was 1% off. I could do better. Talk to me. Fort Lauderdale. What kind of house are we looking at here? Would you live here? Dude, this backyard. This backyard's kind of sick, though. It's kind of sick, though. Look at this. Wow. The American dream. The American dream. My God. They've done it. Corrugated plastic. Sloped roof. My God. Tiki hut. With the bug light right on top so the bugs fall directly in your drink. That's called a Florida mixer. That's bad. That's bad. Get us inside. What's the kitchen like? Hey. Galactic Cat says, I don't know about America, but a decent sized family house in southern Canada is like 1 million. This is, I don't know if I would say that this is like a family size house. So 1,500 square feet, one floor. I don't know. I don't know if this is like if I'm imagining like a typical family of 4. It would be a little tight. I'm surprised they're not charging more simply because it would be like an investment opportunity. But you know what? Pretty standard kitchen. I've seen those same cabinets in like 90% of American households in the world. What bathroom are we working with? Oof. What? Terror. Oh, you hate to see it. That's kind of nice. Bedroom, where we at? Exposed ceiling beams. A little stylish, I guess. The 4-post bed, all going almost all the way to the ceiling. That's something. Does that make the room feel bigger or smaller? Man, you got to walk sideways to get through the bedroom. This feels like an investment property. 2 bedroom, 1 bathroom. We got the screen-in porch. Big fan of the screened-in porch. This ain't retirement, it's imprisonment. Yeah, this is the kind of place you retire to. You right. This is kind of interesting. What is this? What is happening here? Dude, I wish... Let me tell you about this, right? We're about to get back to writing, but let me tell you a little story here. When my wife and I were looking at our first house to get, didn't have a lot of budget, living in Atlanta, real estate prices are insane. There was, we were doing everything through Zillow, right? And there was a house that was fairly big that was almost in our budget. And so we reached out to a realtor and we were like, hey, we want to come see this place. And the realtor was like, are you sure? Maybe you should drive by it first. And we said, that's an interesting response from a realtor. She was like, I'll show it to you. Maybe drive by it first and text me. We were like, interesting. Well, it's not too far away. Let's go check it out. So we drove over there. And we see this house. We went to the address. Right on this big highway. It's like immediately drops down like 30 feet. So the driveway comes off of this major road, goes straight down, and then you're at this place. And here, it had like a whole parking lot. for this house. And that's when we realized this house was formerly a church. So it was a full church that then they had added on some more building for like the bedroom and the kitchen and everything. So we were like, you know what? Not a total deal breaker. Could be very unique first place to live. Not a total deal breaker. So we park in this little parking lot. We walk on over. I tried the door. This place is abandoned, basically. Door opens. I'm like, you know what? I have a weird feeling. Let's get out of here. Close the door. Left. Tell the realtor we still want to see it. She meets us there that weekend. Right? So we pull into our little parking lot. Realtor comes up. This is prime like COVID time. Masks. We had to put feeties on. We had latex gloves on. Here's the thing. I go through that same door. I walk in. And there is like a fireplace on one side of the big chapel that used to be this church. And there's all these little bottles of fingernail polish on the mantle above the fireplace. So immediately we're like, oh, there is someone like staying in here, like someone's squatting in here. All right, we look around at the place. We walk through. The old wood floors have all this character. They're not in great shape, but they look really neat, really interesting. And we're walking around. We see the different places. Oh, it's kind of interesting. But it has a basement. And we're like, hey, you know what? Would love to go see the basement. And the realtor was like, go ahead. I'll stay right here. And we said, what? You're not going to show it to us? She goes, you'll see. Said, okay. So we see the stairwell. Everything up here in the main floor, it's like, it's old, but it's not bad. As soon as you look down the stairs to this basement, it's just like 150-year-old, never sealed wood. All the stairs are a little like wobbly, handrails like loose on the side. But you know, we go down there. Go down the stairs. Dirt floor of the basement. No concrete, nothing. Dirt. All right. But we're down here. Now we gotta see what it's like. Unfinished walls, just the framing of the walls. Water heater in the corner. Dark, dank. But off in the distance, a light from a window. We head towards the light. Unfinished floor, dirt floor. The light's peeking through the glass window of a door. Swing the door open. You will never guess. Swing the door open. Floor, marble. Walls, marble. Ceiling, marble. Bench built into the wall of the room, marble. And a window, half of a window at the very top of the room, letting light in. Bro, when I tell you we got out of there, like, we looked in this room. I walked in and looked around and I was like, there is like some rituals going on here. This is not right. So we got out there, we left. We looked at 4 other houses that day, found one that we ended up putting an offer in. But I will never forget the dilapidated church house, still to this day for sale. 5 years later, or whatever it is. Walking into a room, marble floors, walls, ceiling, marble, insane. Oh my God. I wish I could find pictures to show you. I wish. I wonder it was, you know what? Give me 1 second. I'm just going to do a quick search over here while I have it up. I remember roughly where it was. When we were living in Atlanta. Oh my god, I'll never forget it, dude. It didn't have a front yard or backyard. It just had like concrete. For sale. I know if I like took my time to search, which I'm not gonna do on stream. I'm not gonna waste your time, but oh man. I just want you to know. I just want you to know what it was like. Cause like, look, I'm a writer. I can paint things with words. I could not do this place justice. All right. I won't bother with it. All right. I think it's about time we get back to doing some planning. So here's the deal. We're gonna take another 15 minutes. We're gonna do some planning. I'm gonna try to get some good character stuff down, maybe some themes, back to the plot dump. And then I think after I get this stuff down, the next thing for me will be to start corralling some stuff into kind of a murder mystery focused framework. I wonder if there are specific frameworks out there for these sort of things. I'm sure there are. I don't know of them yet, but that'll be part of my research as I'm sort of filling things out. Off stream, I will end up casting all my characters. That's something I really like to do. I don't know if you like to do it, but I'll have images in here for who I want all these different characters to be. And that kind of inspires me to try to create these more distinctive voices for them. But I'll be doing that off stream. So we're going to take another 15 minutes. I want you to plan your story. Let me know how it goes afterwards. And I will see you guys in 15 minutes. All right, we're back. I don't know when it happens, but at some point my screen always changes. 59, welcome back. Welcome, you overslept. Yeah, you're just catching the tail end of the stream. You know, I never realized how hard it would be to coordinate things internationally. Which makes sense. I mean, I want everyone to have a chance to be able to come and write and hang out and talk and everything, but it's hard. It's hard. One of my first jobs I worked after college, I worked internationally with a bunch of other people in Ireland and Australia and the UK. And I had to pull some Australia hours one week. So it was like sit down to work starting at like 9 p.m. and wrapping up work at like 5 a.m. maybe. Can't remember what it was, but woo. Coral Sand says, I was checking out different beat sheets to see if there's one that matches my story better. Yes, I love that. I love that. Something that I'll do as I'm planning my story is I will try to fit the story into multiple different plot frameworks to see which one resounds with me best. You know, everything could be shoved into a 3-act story. Everything could be worked into Save the Cat. Everything could be kind of fit into this other plot framework. But usually there's some sort of plot framework I'll put my story into, and I'm like, you know what? That's how it makes sense in my head. Awesome, Coral. Love that. 69 says, I'm in the UK. I just run on a different time zone for work. I get that. When we moved to Wisconsin, we still kept our Eastern time zone hours, which is only 1 hour difference, I think. So that was really easy, but keep other structures in mind. We're doing it. That's right. The one I'm looking at is a horror mystery beat sheet. Coral, you should share it in the chat. Maybe I'll pull it up on stream because I also need to find those mystery beat sheets. I'm sure there's some really good writing books with mystery stuff I'll have to look into before I start really writing. In my planning, I went back. I feel like I've got the crime down pretty well. I went back to the plot dump. And I started, here's the thing. Sometimes when I am doing something like a plot dump, just trying to get some stuff down that I can then work with and manipulate and make better, I end up getting too much into detail, especially with things like pacing. I'm starting to think like, oh, you know, I spent too long, you know, letting the characters explore this place in my plot dump. First off, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. This isn't my story. This is just a sheet to get some details down. But also, I firmly believe that, you know, in music, there's this phrase, it says, don't bore us, get to the chorus, right? Don't spend too much time building up to your chorus, just get us there. And I believe that with books too. So like my mystery, I was writing all these things about like, kind of like, I want these characters to meet, to start to get to know each other, and I want to establish these themes. Eventually, I'm just like, you know what? Screw it. Let's just get to finding the body in this murder mystery. Because that's where the story really picks up. All the stuff that I'm writing about beforehand, probably going to undergo some changes. Just get to the stuff that I know will really kickstart the story. So I got myself pretty quickly to the finding the body. And I made some notes here. I also do this a lot in my plot dump. I like to put down like specific lines that I want to have as like foreshadowing for later things. I couldn't think of a catchy, cool line for this character to say, so I just wrote something and then made a comment to eventually make it better. Do this better later. And I also put some sort of exposition here that hints at that there's some corruption in the political system of Whittier. What? That's unheard of. Small town political corruption. Unrealistic. Honestly, Just Guys says do better. That's kind of what, in a lot of my little comments I might make for my story, it is stuff like that. Like, do better. You're better than this. You're better than this. So I got my crime, I've got my clues. I finally got to really, you know, I was my video that I did on the story grid by Sean Coyne had a controversial sort of thing in there. He said that depending on the genre of your story, here, let's get over here. Depending on the genre of your story, your inciting incident and your climactic scene and resolution are already decided for you. And he uses specifically mystery books, like what I'm writing here, as like the example. Like every murder mystery, the inciting incident is finding the body. And the climactic scene is confronting the killer about it, you know? And so I kind of knew when I was doing my plot demo, I was like, all right, let's just get to that moment. That fun genre moment where we find the body and all the questions that it kicks off. What's the one detail about finding this body that's going to make a lot of people say, oh, you know, it was an accident, or, you know, XYZ, it's not that big of a deal. And for our character to say, no, I don't believe you. This has to be. If you've ever watched Psych, every single Psych episode starts with that. It looks like it was a suicide. Or was it, right? Stray Bubble, thanks for joining us. We are at the tail end of our stream. I might try to do one more planning session. Or maybe we'll end up hanging out. Danish Pacer says Psych is great. I should rewatch it. Psych is probably my top 5 favorite shows of all time. It's like that comfort show for me. Big fan of Psych. Which apparently you either love or you hate Psych. I love Psych, especially once you get to like season 3 and 4, and all the season finales are building on one long storyline of the Yin Yang Killer. Oh, great television. But I know a lot of people who don't like Psych, which is a travesty. My wife's favorite show is Gilmore Girls and Grey's Anatomy. I know we got some Gilmore Girl fans here. It's that time of year. Yeah, Danish Patriot says, I watched it with my dad and little brother, so I associate with cozy family time. I also associate it with like this cozy TV, you know? It's just like so easy to watch, to turn your brain off and just have a good time. 69 says, I liked it, but I think I was sick of it by the end. Like the Twin Peaks episode, so. I get that. Coral Sands, are you telling the truth? You've never seen Gilmore Girls, not your thing? I know we got some Gilmore Girls fans. I know we have someone in the Discord named Gilmar Girl. Which I think is always funny. Crazy. Always Sunny starting to peter out. Never seen it. You guys. Well, you know what? If there's one thing that you can learn from Gilmore Girls, it is that kind of small town vibe. But a lot of people really talk about its dialogue. It has a very specific way of approaching dialogue. Coral and Danish Pastry is basically the same person. Different sides of the globe, but same at heart. I feel that. All right, I'm going to do one other fun thing here. And then we're going to wrap up with some planning. Get our 3 different things of planning. Have you guys ever heard of Costco? All my EU, UK, Denmark friends, do you guys have Costco? I wouldn't imagine you do, right? No Costco's over in Denmark? What? There's probably some equivalent, right? Just a big store that sells bulk stuff, right? Costco is Wordle, but for Costco. You have to guess the price of the item. Costco is known for selling bulk things at cheap prices. How much in American dollars do you think that two 32-ounce loaves of sourdough bread would be? Also, what is even the currency in Denmark? Big questions. What's the Denmark currency? And what's the Danish krone? $1 is 657 Danish krones. Interesting. Am I pronouncing that right? All right. We got $5, $6.50 for two 32-ounce sourdough breads. That's a lot of bread. I would imagine. I think you guys are pretty close. It's a crown. Sorry, a crown. Danish krones. All right. 64 ounces of bread. That's got to be. I feel like $5 is going to be pretty close. Now, here's the thing. Costco doesn't price things at $5 even. It would be like $4.99. We're too low. Dollar illiterate. All right, so here's the deal. For those who don't know about Costco, Costco has a code built into the price. First off, everything is always, it's not $5 even, it's $4.99. But if it's on sale, it'll be $4.98. And if it's like being run out of stock, they're having like a closeout sale, it'll be like $4.59. I can't remember if that's the exact thing. There's like a code built into the pricing. This can't be that far off. Oh my god, it's $5.99. My god. $5.99 for our Denmark friends. That's 41 Danish crowns. Thank you. Costco is a good one. Hold on. We'll do a geography one, and then we going back to planning, and we wrapping up this stream with some planning. I got you, Danish pastry. I got you. If there's one thing I am really not good at. Chicken Man, welcome to the party. You got here right at the end. We're just about to wrap up. There's one thing I'm not good at. It is geography. And there's a lot of geography wordles. Let's start with geodal. What? Which country am I thinking of? What the heck is this? All right. We're going to start with Denmark. Shout out. All right. Here's what we learned. Whatever this mystery country is, it's hotter than Denmark. It is landlocked. And it's got a lower population than Denmark. And it's not on Europe. Let's go. We need a landmarked place. This is where it gets really tough here for me. Are you ready for this? Is Switzerland landmarked? Landlocked. Okay, we went up in population. That was wrong. Luxembourg, lower population. Landlocked. We got to find another constitutional monarchy. Does Denmark have a king and queen? That's cool. I'm guessing Europe again. We can't be in Europe. Yeah. I botched it. I botched one of our guesses. So should we try South America? We'd have like let's see, Brazil's coastal, Chile's coastal, Colombia. I don't think Colombia is coastal. It is. God, dang it. Also, we went way up in population. Ah! Also interesting. Not in South America. Okay, now here's the thing. There's a lot of places in Africa and Asia I will not know. Confirmed. Has to be landlocked. We have to have a smaller population than Denmark. Man. Oh, well, this is helpful. They do give us the information. We need some more monarchies, brother. No. No. Give me some more kings. I need some more kings. Lesotho. Constitutional monarchy. What the heck? She's cracked. Danish pastry in chat. Lesotho it was. Of course. Of course. Of course. Wow. All right. There's another one here. This one's called Time Guesser. Guess where and when the picture was taken. All right, do the daily. If you want to do this, you can go to Time Guesser yourself. Hey, it's Boris Johnson. Okay. We have to guess the year, and we have to guess the location. Do we have a time limit? I don't know if we do. Well, if Boris Johnson is in here, I have to imagine zoom in. This couldn't just be London, right? I mean, not like London. You know what I'm saying. This couldn't just be the UK, right? I don't know any of these other people. I just know Boris. Is that John Kerry? Who was that? You know what? I'm going to say this is just Southampton or Portsmouth. We're going to go Portsmouth, right? Maybe right here. But this is definitely not 1962. Maybe... He looks kind of older in that picture. This is before or after he was stuck on the zip line. Wait, we got a German guy in here? That one guy is German? So it said. Dude, 69 pulling out the Watchdog 3 references. I'm gonna trust you. Say he's Gillingham. 2018. Lock it in. 2016. Oh my god. It wasn't freaking... It was Massachusetts. Ah, and it was John Kerry. I had it. How would I... I don't even know who John Kerry is. I think he was just the first presidential election nominee that I knew of growing up. Dude, not good. I was 5,300 kilometers off. All right, next one. What the? All right, we're leaving somewhere. We got exit. We're at a train station. Ooh, we got some old-timey war hats. She's going through something. Out of the train. This feels like some, like, this is like a what's the Russian alphabet called? I almost called it cryptic, but I don't think it's that. You know what I'm saying? But Russia's pretty big, dude. I mean, really all I could guess is Moscow. Cyrillic or it's Cyrillic, right? It's not Cyrillic, right? That doesn't seem like it should. You know, I don't have a lot of hope in this one. I'm gonna say we're talking Moscow. Late 60s. Moscow, late 60s, lock it in. Early 60s, and it was Kyiv. Oh, okay. You know what? I feel good about the year choice there. Black and white photography, film photography, hard to nail down. All right. Three more, and then we're back to planning. We're wrapping it up. Oh, dude, this is what I'm talking about. Look at these old school uniforms. I love it. They haven't played yet. We got 7 Up, Mexico, Canada. I'm telling you right now, this has got major 70s vibes. Major 70s vibes. I'm sure there was some World Cup held in Mexico in... All right. I feel pretty good about this one. I don't know my Olympic history. Okay, we're going for it. 8 years off. 500 kilometers off. World Cup, we got that part. And Jalisco. Okay. Could be worse. Ooh, we got the suffrage movement. So here's what I'm saying about the black and white photography. That's good enough. That's what I'm saying. Here's what I'm saying about the black and white photography. Like, oh man, I don't know. Now I gotta also test. First off, we know this is Ohio. Easy one. Easy dub there. We know this one's Ohio. Wait, oh god. Hold up, no. There's so many different states here. Wyoming, Colorado, Ohio. Oh no. Oh no. But here's the thing, they're marching. I can't tell anything about this place. They're marching. So maybe they're marching Wolverine block. I don't think it'd be, I don't think we're talking, it only goes to 1900. I don't think I feel like we're probably talking, oh my god, my history teachers would be so upset. Now, because now I gotta be like, all right, when was the suffrage movement? Oh no. I think I'm gonna say God, I feel like it's later than the 30s though. See me after class. I gotta choose one of these major places. Oh man. See, here's the thing. Okay, we got Ohio coming up here again. So we're going Columbus, Ohio, or Cleveland, Ohio. I think we're gonna go Columbus. Here's the thing. In future protests, let's just throw the year on the sign, just for prosperity. That's all I'm saying. James Spacer says clothes don't add up with 1939. But I feel like the suffrage movement wasn't like before the Depression. You know what I'm saying? Before the 1920s. And then the roaring 30s, the roaring 20s. Here, I'll throw it 1930. 1930, Columbus, Ohio, lock it in. 1912! Oh my god, and it was freaking... Where is this? Why are they up here? Perrysburg? What's in Perrysburg? Brutal. All right, we got another old one here. Ooh, oh, this is a good one. Ollie's. We got some major street up here. Leather and shoe cabinet trunks. We got some people biking. We got fur jackets. When's the fur trade popping off? Modern bikes. Still lots of suits. What kind of license plates we dealing with? Call of Cthulhu, Ohio 1910. Smith's Corner. Okay. Hold on. The Newtown, Island Bay, Miramar. Oh my god. Why does Miramar sound so familiar? Or Newtown. Where's Newtown? All right, I'm down. I agree with you guys. Calling the 20s. I'll split the difference. Let's go like 24. I can see off in the distance mountains, which would put us, we have Appalachia coming up here, but I think this would be Rocky Mountains, maybe Colorado. I'm seeing like some fur jackets, considering maybe it's a cooler climate. But Miramar does not sound like a Colorado kind of place. What's this say over here again? Traveling, very travel focused. Maybe a place that you would encounter as like a crossroads to a bunch of different locations, which would line up with Denver. I'm doing it. I'm locking it in. Maybe I'll split between Denver and Boulder. No. Yeah. 24. Locking it in. 28. And it was New Zealand. That one's not even on me. We had the year down right. How? How would you know New Zealand? Insane. Yeah, you guys nailed the year. Good job. I would not know what. All right. Final score. Not so great. But that was a lot of fun. All right, here's the deal. We're going to wrap this up with some last planning. 15 minutes. Same thing we've been doing. And then after that, we're logging everything off. So I'm going to put the timer up here. If you got to go early, now's a good time. But if you want to stick around for some planning and be productive and finish off the live stream with some great productivity and novel planning, now is the time to do it. That's what I'm doing. I am setting off the timer, and I will see you guys in 15 minutes as we wrap up the stream. Good luck. It is done. It is done. All right, good job, everyone. Let me know about your progress in the comments here. I want to hear what you're able to get done. And then we're going to wrap things up, and I'm going to head off and have some... How'd you do? It is done, but I am not. Alas, doesn't that seem how it always goes? Danish pastry, feel free to keep working. Feel free to keep planning. You're doing your Rats of War story, so you're not starting a brand new thing, right? You're still drafting. Or are you doing planning for that story? Drafting. Nice. All right, well, I am excited to see and hear about what progress everyone has made, either in the Discord. Remember, we have our story workshop in there where you can make a post for the story you're writing for Novella November. And that's your location to keep adding things on. What I recommend for you to do, and I think I need to be more clear of this in the Discord. What I really recommend for you to do, to really get the most out of it, is to find a couple stories of other people in the community that you are interested in or excited about, and then follow that story. When those authors post updates on their stories, you should be excited for them. Ask to see them, ask how it's going. That sort of accountability really makes you feel good about writing. So that would also be a good thing to do. I'll make a post about that in the Discord, and that could be a lot of fun. And Thyori Mori, if you head down to the Discord in the link below, you'll get a bunch of information. But the little quick rundown here is like, hey, the month of November, let's set a word count for writing a story. Maybe it's 20,000 words. Starting and finishing that story in November. Maybe it's 40,000. Maybe you're shooting for a whole novel of 70,000 words. But it is a focused effort to write and finish a story. Some people are working on stories that they've been working on for a while. A lot of other people are starting brand new stories to try to write. This is not a writing challenge. I see that you asked there's no topic or word count like last time. This is purely just me encouraging you to focus on November to write and finish something. And that's what I'm going to be doing through November, are these live streams where I'm drafting and writing this proto draft of a novel entirely on stream. I'll be going live every weekday for a total of 40 plus hours throughout November. This week, we're just kind of doing some dedicated planning time, and I'm also trying to get a little bit better at doing the live stream stuff and making it fun. So then November 1st, which is Friday, that's when we are going to actually start putting words down and writing. This is just something to encourage you to do a little bit more writing. And if I can help you finish something where you can be on live streams and asking questions, where you can be here and be like, hey, I just had this big epiphany for my story. And then we can all celebrate that. Or you can be like, I hit this brick wall. How do I get past this thing? Then we can all talk about it. This live stream is trying to encourage everyone to write at the same time, encounter those same challenges, share those same successes as we all try to elevate each other to do better. That's the Novella November. So that's the plan. This is not technically Novella November right now, but this is our planning live streams as we lead towards Novella November. But starting on Friday, I will be here writing on stream, doing the thing. I'll be a little bit more stringent about when we're writing and when we're hanging out. We played it a little loose today. But yeah, that's the plan. I'll be here every single weekday. I encourage you to join. Have a productive yet fun time on the live stream. And yeah, for real, if you need more information beyond that, you can check out the link to the Discord. Come hang out over there. We have a lot of great people chiming in about their own writing experiences and tools and resources and challenges and all that great stuff. You'll see a lot of familiar faces that you've seen in the YouTube chat over there as well. And I think that's all I got for you. Everyone, thanks for joining. I had a good time. We did some games. I don't know if that's going to be a thing that we keep doing I think it's fun, but also I know that, hey, we're here to be productive. So I get all that. So thank you so much for joining us. I will see you in the Discord. Post an update in the Discord. Talk about what you accomplished. Did you get further to the planning your story? Did you get a couple hundred words down? Let people know in the Discord, and I will see you over there. Everyone, thanks so much for joining. I will see you next time. And it'll be a ball, just as much. See you later.